when the consultation was being made of how to call people to the mosque for salah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam consulted the companions. There were suggestions of using the bell, for example, like the Christians in the church. There were suggestions of using fire, that we light the fire and people will see the fire and then they'll come for salah. And eventually they went along with adhan and using the natural voice of human being. And subhanallah, this blessing of adhan, everyone, when the azan goes off, if anyone who visits any Muslim countries, when the adhan goes off in the various mosques, that sound is like none other. Nothing can explain this sound of adhan. Many examples of people entering into Islam just by listening to adhan. And this adhan it came about from mashwara, from consultation. Things like the battle of Khandaq Trench, this was again through consultation. This was a suggestion made by the companions. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did consultation, he did mashwara. There was no need to do mashwara. There was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's got direct connection with Allah. He's got direct connection through wahi. So why would he consult with the companions? It's to teach us, to show us the importance of consultation, the barakah that comes with consultation, and how important it is to consult. Not just Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, but even Allah. Allah himself, he did consultation when he said to the angels on creating Adam alayhi salam, inni ja'alin fil ardi khalifa, and placing a vicegerent on the earth. The angels gave their opinion. Will you create a creation who will spill blood, yasfiku dima, who will spread corruption on the land? When we, the angels, were pure, nahnu nuqaddisu, we are purifying, we are glorifying you 24 hours a day. Why would you create this creation? Allah responded to them. Allah responded in our defense. Allah responded, Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know what you do not know. So Allah, he did consultation with the angels. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he did consultation with the companions. So if they did it, it's even more incumbent on us to do consultation. And the consultation, it's consultation, this example of the companion, the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam doing with companions, Allah with the angels, this is again for us to understand the consultation is not necessarily, for example, the chair doing the consultation and then everyone else listening. The consultation is everyone giving their views, genuinely taking views. A lot of these decisions, I said, it came from Sahaba, from companions. So this we need to implement in not just in dini matters, we need to implement even in worldly matters. We come from a culture where this doesn't exist. There's a lot of patriarchy in our society. So whatever the man says goes. It's my word is final. This is not the way, this is cultural, this is not Islamic. The Islamic way is consultation. So my advice is to use it in everything, even worldly matters. As youngsters, you definitely, we have to, I say we, I won't count myself as in youngster. You will consult with elders, with parents. We have to always consult with parents. I've got a lot of examples where I did not consult with parents, especially my late father. I did not consult, and then the decision turned out bad. I remember one exam. It was the driving test. I failed the first one, and I remember very clearly I didn't say anything. It was out of just negligence, nothing intended. I didn't say anything. And the second time before I did the test, I made it my objective. I have to go and consult. I have to go and speak to him. I have to get his blessing. I have to ask him to do dua for me, take his advice. And alhamdulillah, I passed. We definitely have to consult with parents, but I won't stop it just there. Even between parents, mother, father, you have to consult between each other. Again, this isn't something doesn't exist in our culture. But you have to consult. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how many times do we know his consultations with Khadija radiallahu anha? He never thought, I am the man, I won't consult, I don't need any advice, I know everything. He consulted, and Khadija radiallahu anha was his rock. She was by his side all the way through. So the consultation between mother, father, spouses, that, and I will go even one more further, for us to consult with our children. Consult with your children. I know I'm taking too much of your time. In my day job, I work for children's services, social services. When I did the frontline work before the managerial role over the last 5-6 years, so before 5-6 years ago, we deliver interventions supporting families. One of the interventions I delivered was parenting. And a huge part of that parenting was about discussion, consultation with your kids, involving them, not adult kids, very young kids, even the youngest of kids, consulting, not necessarily for a decision, not asking for a decision. Consultation isn't necessarily asking for a decision. Consultation is the involving, taking advice. Again, something doesn't exist in our cultures. It just doesn't exist. But we have to. The reasons why these things exist in these parenting programs is it gives, when you consult, it gives ownership. It gives ownership to that person. So even when it's a child, they take that on. Even the youngest of children, believe me, they take it on. And when that ownership is there, there's more dedication, there's more sincerity, there's more work, effort, hard work. You'll see the differences. But this is why it exists in these interventions. And my biggest evidence for this, why I mentioned the consultation even with children, is what Maulana covered on the first day I arrived. Ibrahim alayhi salam's story, when he saw the dream, Inni ra'a fil manami, and I saw in my dream that I am sacrificing you. He is consulting with Ismail. Ismail alayhi salam was very young, but he's consulting with Ismail alayhi salam. I see in my dream that I am sacrificing you. You see, what do you think? You see, what do you think? This isn't just for Ismail alayhi salam. It's not just for Ibrahim alayhi salam and his children. It's for us. He's teaching us. He's asking me, what do you think? And when he consulted, then he got the kind of response that Ismail alayhi salam gave. That, Ya Abat, if my father, do as you have been ordered, you will find me, inshallah, you'll find me from the patient. I will be patient. You just do fulfill Allah's command. So Shura, just the name of this surah Shura, around consultation. The contents of the surah, again, I won't have enough time, so I won't spend any more time on this surah. But again, like yesterday, to do the true justice of tafsir, of understanding the Quran. Yesterday I mentioned about Arabic and learning Arabic, the only way to understand the Quran properly. This is needed. The 5-10 minute session after Tarawih won't be enough. There's very quickly the other three surahs, Surah Zukhruf. Zukhruf is gold ornaments. The verse that this word Zukhruf comes into the surah is when Allah describes that if it was not for the fact that everyone would be the same, everyone would become equal as in disbelievers. If it wasn't for the fact that everyone would become disbelievers, then what would Allah do? Allah would give the disbelievers even more. He describes in that same verse, He would give them roofs of silver. He would give them doors of silver. He would give them things to elevate them. And then He mentions Zukhruf, He would give them gold ornaments. Allah is explaining that if the believers, even the believers, if there wasn't the risk of them seeing these treasures with the disbelievers and them falling into disbelief, if there wasn't this risk, Allah would have given even more to them. So because of this risk, Allah is giving them not as much. This is, I want you to take two things from this. To understand that when we see others, especially disbelievers, we fall into this trap. We see, I'm a believer. I am saying La ilaha illallah, I'm praying salah, I'm spending time in the masjid, I'm fasting, I'm doing all these good things. But all the disbelievers have got all the money, they've got all the wealth, the cars, the nice houses, the big houses. Allah is explaining, if there wasn't a risk as big as this, He would have given them even more. Imagine how we would feel if they had even more. So when we see this, we shouldn't take this as success. This is an incorrect vision of success. Success isn't here, success is in the hereafter. And the second thing is to remember is this wealth, the fact that there is so much within disbelievers, within non-Muslims, non-practicing. Take this as a sign. Take this as a sign, and then look at the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had nothing. He had nothing. Even on his deathbed when he passed away, he had nothing to his name. People ask about what they're leaving. When someone passes away, everyone's looking for inheritance. What have they left behind? What can I claim my right to? He left nothing. If there was any good, even an ounce, iota of good in these worldly possessions, Allah would have showered the Prophet with this. The fact that he had nothing means there's nothing good in this at all. So we shouldn't see this and be disheartened. It should strengthen our iman that we don't have this, and our wealth will be in Jannah, our wealth will be in the hereafter, inshallah. The Surah Dukhan, very quickly, Dukhan means smoke. It's the smoke, a lot of you will have heard the smoke that will come out, emanate, and one of the major signs of the Day of Judgment. This is referring to that Dukhan. Again, I won't go into a lot of the themes in these 7 surahs. Hawamims are quite similar anyway, so I won't go into any more detail. And then the last one was Jathiyah, Surah Jathiyah. Jathiyah means the person, the one who kneeling down, so the kneeling. This is describing the kneeling on the Day of Judgment. There's one particular verse where the word Jathiyah comes up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing on the Day of Judgment the believers and disbelievers. Everyone will be kneeling down. Everyone will be kneeling down, and the books will be brought out in front of them. So the disbelievers, their books, the books they had before us, the Tawrat, Zabur, Injil, they will be brought out, and Allah will be said to them that did this message not come to you? Did you not receive this message? And they themselves will testify, yes, this message came. The message came to us, we did not accept it, we did not listen to the message, we did not take heed. And then they will be destined for hellfire. And then the believers, the same thing will happen. Our book, the Quran, will be brought out for us. Same question will be asked, but we will testify, yes. The believers will testify, yes. We had this message, we accepted the message, we did tasdeeq, we acted on the message, and we, inshallah, we will be destined for paradise, Jannah, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us all amongst the pious and the ones destined for Jannah, inshallah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. What I wanted to know regarding fidya, and are we meant to pay if the person is medically unfit and unable to fast? Is it best to pay it during Ramadan or after Ramadan? I'm gonna have to hand that over to Murad.
Yeah, answer to that very short answer is obviously if you're medically unfit and you're unable to fast, then the fidya should be given right now, not after Ramadan. If you think, and the question is saying after Ramadan, there's a possibility that you might be feeding or you think the person might be getting better. If there is that hope and the possibility that person will get better, then obviously there is no fidya to be paid. Then after Ramadan they will keep the fast. So in short, if definitely medically that person will not be able to fast after Ramadan, they pay the fidya right now. And if there is a hope and possibility that they will recover, then they will obviously keep the fast afterwards. To the point that Mauriyas mentioned in one of the about after Dhuhr session, to the point even if somebody gives fidya thinking that they're not going to get better, and many years later they get well, they still have to keep the fast. They still have to keep the fast. So that should be the short answer, inshallah. I hope that is enough. We're not going to take any more questions. I know there's loads of questions, but I hope that is okay. Is that okay, inshallah?